Hello and welcome to TRT World, live from Istanbul. I'm Rachael Ruble. Also ahead on the program. You're watching TRT World. I'm Rachael Ruble. We continue our breaking news coverage as the United States has completed its withdrawal of forces from Afghanistan. You talked earlier about how the Taliban is being misunderstood. So what does the Taliban now in 2021 look like? Because for the last 20 years, the image the media has presented to us has been, frankly, quite brutal. This is the first time a pope has issued a formal public apology to Indigenous peoples of Canada, despite decades of survivors and families calling for an apology. Why do you think this apology came now? What's changed? The U.S. President Joe Biden released a statement saying he welcomes the 2-month truce. Pledging to end this war in Yemen was one of Biden's first foreign policy moves. What are your thoughts? Has the Biden administration lived up to any of that rhetoric? NATO leaders have agreed to bolster their land, sea, and air forces. They'll also send additional military support to Ukraine. That assistance includes protective equipment against biological, chemical, and nuclear threats. Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has echoed Washington's view that Russia may use such weapons in Ukraine. As our Europe correspondent Simon McGregor-Wood reports from Brussels, President Vladimir Zelensky addressed the summit via video link. It's been 1 month since the start of Russia's attack on Ukraine. The UN has been able to verify about 1,000 civilian deaths, but it says the true figure is likely higher. In the besieged city of Mariupol, Ukraine says 15,000 people have been told they will be forcibly relocated to Russia. The city of Kherson is under Russian control, and a whistleblower in the Russian Federal Security Service says Moscow will quell protests there by unleashing what he calls a great terror that will include kidnappings. Our correspondent Ali Mustafa reports from Kyiv. Let's turn now to Ivan Eland. He is the director of the Center on Peace and Liberty at the Independent Institute and joins me from Washington, D.C. Ivan, NATO leaders approved major increases of the alliance's forces in Eastern Europe. How can these Western alliances continue to maintain unity and support Ukraine without directly engaging with Russia and creating a wider conflict? More than half of the 3.6 million people who have fled Ukraine have gone to Poland, and that's put pressure on the host nation. In the capital, Warsaw, the influx has boosted the population by 20%. To accommodate the new arrivals, an exhibition complex in the outskirts of the city is now home to Europe's largest refugee population. Our correspondent, Sarah Morris, has been there. Devin Cohn is the senior advocate for women and girls at Refugees International. She joins me now from the U.S. city of Denver. Devin, as you know, we've seen more than 3.6 million Ukrainians already flee the country. What are the challenges ahead for these refugees and the countries that will take them in? All right, don't forget, you can visit our website for details on all of our main stories. You'll find them at trtworld.com, and you can also follow us on social media, including Twitter at TRT World. And do stay with us here on TRT World. Across the Balkans is up next. Ukraine has denied any involvement in an attack on a Russian oil depot in the city of Belgorod, in which 2 workers were injured. The Kremlin accused Kyiv of carrying out an airstrike, saying it could complicate ongoing peace talks. Owen Holdaway joins me now from the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. And Owen, I understand there will be a renewed attempt to evacuate citizens from Mariupol on Saturday after a Red Cross team wasn't able to reach civilians on Friday. What's the plan? Pope Francis has made an historic apology to Canada's Indigenous peoples for the abuses committed at Catholic Church-run residential schools there. In the 19th and 20th centuries, thousands of Indigenous children were forced into residential schools as part of the Canadian government's assimilation program. They spent years isolated from their families, language, and culture. Many were physically and sexually abused by staff. Thousands died. Yasmin El-Sabawi reports. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by Christy Kirkup from Ottawa, Canada. She's a journalist with The Globe and Mail. Christy, how is this being seen and covered there by journalists such as yourself in Canada? Holy month of Ramadan begins on Saturday. Almost 2 billion Muslims around the world will observe a month of fasting and praying. TRT World's Esenekan reports from Istanbul's Hagia Sophia Mosque. That's the news for now. Headlines are next.